What's good? It's your boy Fanon. All right, I'm gonna cover a couple things in this video. I'm gonna cover something that was said by a sparring partner of Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Vitaly Klitschko, and Vitaly Klitschko. So, the guy's name is Richard Towers. He's from the UK. Went by the name The Inferno, and 6'8" heavyweight. Like I said, from Sheffield, Yorkshire, United Kingdom. And he compared the power of all these guys, and at the end of it talked about Deontay Wilder being a much harder hitter and a heavier puncher than all of them. And said that it was going to be a tough time for Tyson Fury and a hard fight for Tyson Fury because at this stage of Tyson Fury's career, you know, he's got a lot of body to be moving around to try to stay out of the way of Deontay Wilder. So I'm going to cover specifically what he said about the punching power, comparing these guys. And then I'm going to also talk about something that Anthony Joshua said. I talked about it a little bit in the video, but there's a into it that another statement that Anthony Joshua made about the negotiation table with Deontay Wilder, which just has me reflecting. I've been a boxing fan for a long time, man. And I'm telling you, there is one thing that I find people have a hard time getting their head around. And that is when a fighter grows, when their stature grows. When yours stays the same and somebody else's grows, and you're still acting as if you are the one that gets to make all the decisions. And in the case of Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, if Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder go off the way in a way where Deontay Wilder wins by knockouts and has a very, very solid performance, there is no negotiating table for Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. Because Deontay Wilder will easily, in the minds of the heavyweight boxing fans, will easily be beyond Anthony Joshua if he's not already, because of the way that Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn have behaved. But before I do that, I want to thank everybody for coming to the channel. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell icon, and also thank you so much for everybody that supports the channel by listening to the commercials that are on the video. That's how we raise money to support the cause that the channel is established to support. Also, thank you for for support through Venmo, Patreon, and the super chats. And also, reminder again, shout out to my man 78 Sports TV. We'll be back on his live streams in mid-October, and we're planning a big soiree super chat challenge. So, get your put your nickels and dimes aside and see who can win the super chat challenge over there on his welcome back party. So let me go through what this guy says. Once again, his name is Richard Towers, and he's from the UK. So he's not a guy that just, has some big reason to be in love with Deontay Wilder. What he says is, I've sparred with every heavyweight you could think of except Joseph Parker. And I know when it comes to power, Deontay Wilder is in a league of his own. Towers said to the Sun. Put it this way. He hits 4 times harder than Vitaly Klitschko. He hits 5 times harder than Vladimir Klitschko. He hits 6 times harder than Anthony Joshua. And he hits 8 times harder than Tyson Fury. We sparred on and off for 2 years and he was great. But I have to be honest, this is the wrong fight to take right now. It really is. Tyson has just come back on the scene, and although he's a grafter, this isn't the ideal time for him to fight Wilder. He is moving okay against easy opposition, but he's got a big body and a big head to move out of the way for 12 rounds against Wilder. That's no easy task. Now, I want to go on record here and say, man, that I understand I want to point out something. just because somebody hits harder doesn't mean that we're going to win the fight. I really do believe that. If you look back to Ali Foreman, clearly that was a situation where Ali hit much, much harder than Foreman did. Or excuse me, Foreman hit much harder than Ali did. But if you can't hit the guy, then what good is that going to do? So I'm not by any means saying that I think that that I know for sure Deontay Wilder is going to beat Tyson Fury. I'm a big Tyson Fury fan. I think very highly of him. And I think this is going to be a very, very good fight. It's a fight that I'm worried about for Deontay Wilder. Not to the extent that I was worrying about Luis Ortiz. When I heard he was fighting Luis Ortiz, I was like, oh, Lord. Man, I was waiting to see this dude fight Anthony Joshua. He's going to fight Luis Ortiz. And people can verify this, man. We were talking offline to a man, Ty Legacy, was good Ty Legacy. Right before that happened, I was like, man, my heart is with Deontay Wilder. My mind is telling me Luis Ortiz. Because Luis Ortiz is just such a crafty boxer and he hits so heavy. Man, this could be a lot of trouble. And it almost wound up being the case, but because of what Richard Towers says, Deontay Wilder pulled through. The man hits very, very hard. He's very long, and getting out of the way of that guy away from that guy for 12 rounds, man, that's going to be really, really, really tough. But I think in this comment is the reason why I believe, rather, I won't say no, that Anthony Joshua's team doesn't want Anthony Joshua to fight Deontay Wilder. He hits harder than Vitaly Klitschko. So if you look at the way this guy ranks these guys' power, the number one guy he's saying is other than Deontay Wilder, is Vitaly Klitschko. Then he gives a 5 to Vladimir Klitschko. After that, the next hardest hitter is Anthony Joshua. And then all of those guys he's saying hit harder than Tyson Fury. As far as Tyson Fury punching power, I think that's very accurate. Tyson Fury is not a one-punch knockout artist. He's not a guy that's a super heavy puncher. That's clear. All three of those guys I mentioned ahead of him, Vitaly Klitschko, Vladimir Klitschko, and Anthony Joshua, are very, very heavy hitters. But look at the numbers he uses. 4, 5, 6, 8. He skips twice and 3 times. So what he's saying is Vladimir Klitschko, and you saw what happened when Vladimir Klitschko hit Anthony Joshua. He hurt him, and he hurt him very bad. Deontay Wilder hits significantly heavier hands than Vladimir Klitschko. And I keep going through these conversations with people on my channel that keep talking about how he fights all these cruiserweights. Oh, he just fights cruiserweights. That's a lame attempt to try to discredit the fact that the guy has knocked out 39. He's knocked out everybody he's ever fought. And he has 40 professional fights, 7 or 8 heavyweight championship title defenses. And he's knocking guys like Luis Ortiz out. Oh, Luis Ortiz looked bad against somebody a couple years ago. He didn't get knocked out. He didn't get knocked down. He never got hurt. Luis Ortiz is a guy with a very solid chin. As you could tell by the fact that he got hit straight by a shot by Deontay Wilder. And he didn't go out the first time, right? But he went out the second time. He got hurt, and Deontay Wilder is going to hit you with that much power from funny angles. Look, they're not making it up. But when you listen to what Anthony Joshua says, oh, well, a win against Tyson Fury, it'll give him a better footing at the negotiation table. That's why statements like that are why Anthony Joshua's popularity in the United States have been totally tanked. Because he's still acting as if somebody cares about the negotiation table. What do I care about the negotiation table? I want to see the fight. I'm not getting paid. But he continues to put that, try to behave as if his interests, his personal interests, should be of any importance whatsoever to the fight fan. He should stop talking like a businessman. And if he really is the A side, and if a fight with him is that lucrative, then there should be no reason that the fight between he and Deontay Wilder couldn't have been made this last time. But just like I did in this video, because I'm doing this video like right after I did one about Errol Spence and Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. With Sean Porter and Danny Garcia, from me listening to them, what they don't understand is that when you're perceived to have ducked a particular fighter, or not want to face a certain fighter, relative to that fighter, your stock drops. When people believe that you're afraid of that other fighter, relative to you, that other fighter's stock increases, no matter where you are. So once Anthony Joshua decided that once it became public perception that Anthony Joshua was avoiding Deontay Wilder and did not want to fight a guy that has 40 knockouts, or 39 knockouts in 40 fights, what is a reasonable fight fan's conclusion supposed to be to that? Oh, you don't want to fight a guy that just dang near decapitated Luis Ortiz? I go look at his videos and I see a guy laid out, leg twitching, and another guy on one knee, another dude on one knee drooling, another guy bent, cocked over with his legs set sideways. And I'm not supposed to believe that you might not want to end up like that. It's just business, right? I'm not, as a fight fan, not buying it, man. Anthony Joshua and these cats that keep talking about this business need to talk about that business with their manager. They need to talk about that business with their promoter. And when they get in front of a camera where fight fans can hear it, they need to shut their mouth talking about the business, because nobody cares. And the person, and anybody who's not in love with you, already completely on board with you, rooting for you, anybody else involved in that is going to listen to that and say, that guy doesn't want to fight that guy. Anthony Joshua doesn't want to fight Deontay Wilder. Well, how do you know? The guy's knocked everybody he's ever fought out silly. He's the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division, easy. And the guy turned down $50 million guaranteed, $80 million guaranteed over 2 fights. And he passed that money up. Oh, well, he ducked. And all the talking that the fans of Anthony Joshua, or the fans, and comparing it to the other situation, Errol Spence Jr. has been on TV for the last 4 years starching people. Every fight that you see that he's fought in the last 4 years, and people's memories ain't that long, every one they've watched has ended in a brutal beatdown. But yet the other people are talking about not fighting him because, well, we need to wait till the fight gets bigger, or we need to do this. I'm trying to chase this belt. All those excuses to people that see that they're not trying to hear it. They're going to associate what you're doing with not wanting to end up like every other guy that's fought him in the last 4 years. Not wanting to wind up like the other 39 guys that wound up getting laid out. That's what it sounds like to boxing fans. So if you don't want to lose your position relative to another fighter in a way that you believe is not being deserved, then act like you want to fight him. Say the right things, do the right things, keep that business talk to your manager, keep that business talk to your promoter, and then and fight the guy. Because in the day where every fight fan has a voice, and really avid fight fans have even bigger voices because they're going to talk about it more often. We're going to talk about it every day, several times a day, and are not going to pull punches. And our talk is more honest and straightforward and heartfelt than the marketing agents and the marketing guys that work for your promoter. So anyway, it is what it is. But if you guys keep talking about that stuff that way, don't be surprised if people turn off on you. Anyway, with that, I'm out. Peace.